Hello and welcome. We're the Bitches with Beards, and we love to talk all things culture.
On this podcast, we chat our top 3 cultural moments of the week.
It's the Cultural Three-Way. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Max. We saw you from across the bar.
And we really enjoyed your vibes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yes, we're back.
We're back barely. Well, we took a week off. I'm sorry if anyone didn't hear the last one, but we did decide it was, we needed. It was just not going to work. No,
there was literally no way to make it work.
Yes, so we opted to, and then I was like, why do you make a mess? I'm like, I'm not going to put a message up. I'm like, just presume we're dead.
Yes.
Scandal.
Presume we have just met our end.
Talking of near death, Daniel, how was your birthday?
I feel like I'm between 40 and death, and I'm not near 40, so closer.
No, we're not there yet.
No, it was a shit birthday.
Well, it isn't OBX. We haven't taken you out yet.
Which will make it up. And I must say, I did have dinner with a few friends, and so that was nice. But it was, all in all, it was a holiday, and I got told on said holiday, oh, you have to act. And I'm like, for my boss. And I was like, son of a fucking bitch. Like, why are you telling me this on a holiday with a list of assignments? And everything else was going on at the same time, too. I also was told last week that my office is moving. Like, it's just one thing after another, and then everything has been in the news this week about my job, too, which I'm just like, there's not a moment's peace at all right now, and it's not going to be any peace until August 21st. Literally, that's the day I'm circled on the calendar of, like, peace.
Is that when all the celebrations are over?
All the celebrations are over. All the A250 and the F250. Freedom 250, America 250. It's all over on the 21st of August.
Mm-hmm.
So,
as is America.
Well, if not sooner. So, that was a high level nutshell of how the birthday was. I've had better. I have had better.
How old are you now?
37.
Next one's fun. 30, I like the 38's a fun birthday.
Here's the thing. I don't mind like the age stuff. Like, I was a little bit like about 37 for like a day, and I was like, it's 37, it's fine.
37's a meh birthday. 36, 37, then meh. I always think even they can be meh. 38's like your last safe birthday in your 30s, because 39 you've got the fear, but then at the same time it's like I've got Hubs who's 39, and I'm like, you've got to be prepared. If you go in,
40 is coming.
40 is coming. Don't get caught with your pants down.
Yeah. 40 is coming. Go have your colonoscopy.
I've had one of those already.
I should probably schedule one at some point.
Yes, you should get that finger out the bum.
Well, that's just a normal Tuesday.
A Tuesday.
Oh, anyways. But you did something, sir. You ran a marathon. How was that?
I did. It was excellent. It was my 10th one. I was just catching Daniel up. The weather decided to not behave on the morning of the marathon. And we weren't sure how accurate the weather. It was. We knew it was going to rain. It came down heavier. It was in Burlington, Vermont, which is a beautiful part of the world. Never been. Would definitely go again. Mm-hmm. I think it has writer's retreat written all over it.
Fair.
But yeah, no, It was a really good marathon. The area was lovely. We explored a little bit. Me and the Hubs. We dropped the dogs off, there was a lot. It was our first time without Rosie Girl still not very well. Her is still not kind of behaving itself, and we're like, how much more money can we spend? So we kind of got there. We did relax once we drove. We drove up. After our car trouble last time, always say that. We always say now, once we're there, that's it, because the insurance company has to bring us home.
Yeah. Fair.
But no, the marathon actually, because it pissed down with rain in the morning, that's the only way to describe it. Sorry for the language. Sorry for the salty language. Ooh. But it stopped as we started running. It did bottleneck the start of the race because there was puddles everywhere. But then it was just like a light mist, like a light spray.
Yeah.
And it was just a really good run.
I was going to say, it didn't look that bad from the videos that the Hub sent.
No. It was a double loop, which I'd never done before, but it was...
Did you get bored with the double loop?
No. I think a third loop you would start to, but at the same time as you also would be doing the loop in less time, because once I train at such a point that a half marathon isn't really much.
Yeah.
In that sense, which it is, it's a very big accomplishment, but I'm used to it. So you look at the first loop as a training session, and then you learn everything, and then you're able to speed up. Mm-hmm. So I beat my record.
As I say, you had a personal best,
and I got 3 hours 33 minutes, which is 11 minutes quicker than my previous, which
was already quicker than your previous.
Yeah, so it was. I've gone down half an hour in the last year.
Oh my goodness, you've gone down half an hour in the past year.
But it was probably my first run where, and you're gonna maybe. Sorry, I've got the itchiest legs, and we found out that that's all to do with the running, dehydration. So I'm drinking a lot of water and creaming them up and everything. But I've got a very eczema. Your skin. This is. Yeah. It's like exposure and everything, and it's that.
It's the stress that you put your body under.
You're probably going to look at me in eye roll, right?
Try me, probably.
This was the first marathon I felt like a runner, an actual runner. Okay. And I think because the others have been pretty smooth afterwards. And when you don't really feel like you belong in a job until something goes wrong and you absolutely kick in with every bit of knowledge you've ever learned. And then you're like, this is why they fucking have me here, because I was able to sell. And I think because this run threw up a lot of things like the rain, and then people were really panicked before. Me and Hubs ended up in a huge argument. I always forget he really loves me, and so I'm very nonchalant sometimes about things to do with myself. Anything else outside of me, I stress, but myself, I'm like there, and I'm people are like, oh my god, how's your training? I said, I've got 2 Snickers in my pocket. That's not a lie. I love my little Snickers. So we ended up, and he was like getting really panicked, and I was like, this is all we can do. But I don't know. I looked in, I checked the weather. I knew how to read the weather app. I knew I could do it. I've run in the rain before. And I think it was the first time that I really had everything for the last 9 marathons have been put into gear. And I generally wasn't that worried about it.
You didn't have the imposter syndrome.
Yeah. And it was, and also it was a really fast fucking time.
Oh yes.
But it was a good, but it was a really lovely one. They all came out. There were some beautiful houses. I bought 3 of them. Dang, with some ridiculously level of housing that you see in sitcoms.
There's a lot of Gilded Age mansions in Burlington. That's why I would go.
But even their newer stuff is just it's like beautiful stunning lake house stuff, and it's like. Oh. But no, I would highly recommend Burlington. Dogs vaguely behaved themselves. Bug was a treasure. Rosie's a little bit. Though she got back and she was jumping at us and she was kissing and like we hadn't done before. So I think she suddenly was like, "Oh, they've come back. Yes. This is my." I think she suddenly realised this was her forever home.
Oh, sweet Rosie girl.
It is. Well, anyway, we should move on. Daniel, I feel like we've just taken care of ourselves. So it's time to take care of the other person in the room.
It's time for the little bit of the warm up.
So what's culture for you this week, Daniel?
Culture for me this week, let's see. So starting off, I ate at a brand new sushi restaurant with our friend Matt. Yeah. It was Sushi Sato on H Street, and I believe that's 13th Northeast. Very good. Highly recommend going there.
Nice.
The octopus sushi rolls were phenomenal.
Is it a nice restaurant
yes.
atmosphere? Because sometimes sushi restaurants can be very cafe.
Yes, it is not very cafe.
Nice.
It was very much a nice restaurant to go to. I would highly recommend going back there. Let's see. I watched a brand new film this past week.
Get you.
A classic film that I've never seen before.
Always, I love those.
The State of the Union. It features Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn about a man running for president, but it features one Angela Lansbury as the mistress/villain of the film.
I've heard of it.
It was deliciously good. She is so underrated as a villain. She is always so good.
What was that on?
I did it on Prime. Is what I did it on. Yeah.
I will put that in my notes now.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It was a good 2-hour. It was a play prior, and you could definitely tell because it had the pacing of a play.
But those two they're so good, Tracy and Hepburn.
Yeah, it was very much. It felt like a play. You could see it being staged. It was well paced. I highly recommend it. My other culture for this week is I did some experimentation with zucchini in my cooking. So 2 dishes that I made. One was zucchini with whipped ricotta. Oh,
yeah,
it was so good. Just roasted the zucchini and put it on top of the whipped ricotta. Fantastic. And then I made a Moroccan fish stew with zucchini. So good. It will definitely be coming back on my menu. Highly
Wonderful.
recommended. What about you? What was your culture for this week?
My culture was the film Obsession. That's the one about the guy that wishes that a woman would love him, and
Oh,
it goes
yes,
nuts.
yeah.
It's excellent.
Okay.
It's not. It's a very well made film. I would say it doesn't break a ton of ground, but it's
Fair.
a very competent in what it does. It's very well acted. It opens up a lot about, like love and consent. I really enjoyed it. It's painted very well at the box office. It came back stronger for a second week, which is kind of unheard of. So everyone's very much like going, oh, wow. This week I went to see We Love Boosters.
Oh, how was it?
Brilliant. Batshit fucking crazy. You have no idea what half the storyline is. And I mean that out. I generally mean the trailer kind of covers half of where it goes.
Was it Campus Tits?
It is.
Okay.
You have to know. Have you seen... the one, his previous one, Boots Riley's previous, about the call center people. Do you have thank you for listening or something? I can't remember what it's called. About black people using white voice to it's very similar to that, and it goes off into weird places. If you've seen that, you won't be you're kind of used to Boots and how he goes off into genres, but it definitely is like a living cartoon in places.
Okay.
My third culture of the week is not where you think I'm going to go yet, because it's going to be part of my main one. But my third actually is the Across the Universe album.
Oh, such a good one.
And I love it. I love that movie. And it's a movie that I was really into in a moment. It was like Hair was out in London. There was a real 60s resurgence.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a thing recently of really kind of not being afraid to go back and re-experience. And actually, yes, I love the album itself, holds up in amazing ways. And so I am very much looking forward to rewatching a movie, actually.
Always a good rewatch.
Yes.
Always.
There's a couple of movies out at the moment that I am... there's a couple of movies that I really want to re-explore. And that's definitely one of them. I'm like, let's put that one on the list.
Fair.
Right then, Daniel, let's move on to the main event.
It's now time to answer the question, who is your top, who is your bottom, and who is your lucky Pierre?
So Daniel, who's your top, who's your bottom, and who is your lucky Pierre?
So my bottom of the week, it was with great sadness that it was announced that after 30 years, the Danish-Norwegian band Aqua is no more. They're known for such songs as Barbie Girl, Dr. Jones, Candyman, Cartoon Heroes, Playmate to Jesus, and My Oh My, among other things.
My favourite is Turn Back Time for Sliding Doors.
Yes. Good one, too. They were probably my first, introduction to, Europop.
Yes.
If that makes sense. That was, it hit mainstream America, and it's like, oh, this is interesting. So anyways, it was very sad. They said, it was just time to say goodbye, and I was like, I get that. I absolutely get that. My top of the week, Quinta Brunson was announced last week that she is set to be bringing Betty Boop to life in an upcoming film. Brunson is set to portray the 1930s animated sex symbol in a film set to explore the relationship between the cartoon and creator, Max Fleischer. Undetermined if it's going to be live action or if it's going to be a cartoon. So I don't know if she's going to be voicing or if she's going to physically be portraying, but I think it's going to be really good.
She looks so much like her.
She looks crazy. So much like her that I'm like, I want to see her like that on screen,
Yeah, I think it would be... I don't know on that one, because I was seeing this. I love Quinta, and I was generally looking at it going, how do we feel? But I would love to see a live action of it, because I think that it would take in a lot of what built the character, especially because Betty Boop's not a prolific character.
No.
She's a prolific, iconic symbol, but she actually as a character is not used that much.
Yes, indeed. All right, so now it's time for the Lucky Pierre, and I think you can probably guess which one it is because we've had a slight conversation about it this week, but didn't actually talk about it.
I can't even think.
So it was announced this week that the BBC will be rebooting Agatha Christie's Poirot. To be determined whether it's going to be a full reboot or a reimagining of the character. It is set to come out the second half of 2027, with casting currently underway, and rumors are that there is at least going to be a 3-season investment with the BBC in this.
Yes.
So to be determined, the formatting, to be determined how many shows are going to be in the season, to be determined if there's going to be a set story arc, if it's going to be set story, like how.
Because they were 90-minute TV movies, weren't they?
So they started off as 50-minute,
yeah.
and then select ones were 90 minutes, and then the last run of the David Suchet version was, the 90-minute ones. And part of it, the question is the fact that this is coming on the heels of David Suchet doing at least 33 novels and 51 short stories, like over the course of a 15-season run, I believe was the show. We also have Kenneth Branagh, who recently did 3 of the films.
Who did a lovely job with an all-star cast, but I kind of feel that the way that Netflix have sort of taken it off. Is this done in conjunction with Netflix at all?
So, no, it is not going to be done in conjunction with Netflix. It is going to be Mammoth Studios.
Yeah, they sound familiar.
Yeah, anyways, they're set to be housing it. Like I said, to be determined if this is going to be a reimagining, because at the same time, Tommy and Tuppence on BritBox is going to be coming out, and it's going to be a reimagining of that. So I don't know if you can bring Poirot into the modern day. I'm going to say this because there are so many quirks that are so central to that character. Like the fashion was part of the story.
Yeah.
The styling with the mustache. It's going to be hard to make that work in the present day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think a little bit for me is that I like an Agatha Christie. I mean, I've actually never seen a Poirot like the Suchet, because we never really watched a lot of ITV. Mm-hmm. We were kind of snobby, but I know that they're very highly considered, and I know ITV tended to do the Agatha Christie's as a series. I think they always had a bit more budget, and then the BBC were always a little bit like. But I don't know. Like the thing is the hardest thing is yes, I do think there's a lot of room for modern mystery, but it becomes harder when you have modern technology come in. And it's not to say Poirot's not a great detective, but you also it almost needs to maybe have a level of someone to come in and trip him up a little bit, who knows a bit more. But then at the same time, is that loses it of Poirot? I
think it does lose it with Poirot. Also part of the settings is, it was part of the genre of the country house mystery. Yeah. People are not going to the country houses anymore on the weekend. So it only sort of worked during that era to a point. And there was a lot of World War I that actually set off the Poirot mysteries, because he was a refugee. And so that was the mysterious affair of Styles, our introduction to him. So, I don't know how they're going to, play out if they take it and it's and it's set in 2027.
Well, the trouble is when they move forward with something like that, is that you then end up in a situation where you don't really, you modernize it to ground it slightly. So it's rare that you would modernize something and make it comfy. The reason for modernizing it is to grit it up slightly. Yeah. So the question is that do we want to see a harder Poirot? Because the stories are dark. And this is the big misconception, is something when Daniel bought me some books for my birthday, is that I was quite surprised. Not ultimately, they weren't grotesque, but there was a couple of twists and plot points which were a little bit more like, that's not what I think from Joan Hickson.
Right.
And
it's grasp my pearls.
And I do actually I should read some Marple next. I've never. Yeah. She's a little bit more cozy.
Yes.
But it is an element of, do I want to watch a Poirot that is very new, or do I want that sort of
nostalgia,
faux comfort that comes from nostalgia?
Yeah.
Even though you're watching a very gritty, well put together mystery, you are still sitting there going, okay, for my opinion, the best thing Poirot would, I hope that they don't put it on over summer. I want it either. I would say I would love it to be launched. Usually we launch them on New Year's Day, and then you take it through 6 episodes through January into Feb.
Yeah.
Do it when you need that little bit of that comfort.
Yeah.
Because
Dark times. Of
I don't
winter.
want to. I don't think I want to see it. And I think that. And if someone said to me, "Hey, we found an Agatha Christie and we want to make it modern," I'd be like, "Go for it." But at the same time, I don't want to see another fucking adaptation of And Then There Were None.
Right.
Because I'm not. And this sounds really. But I've seen. I think 2 now in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
The one about the vampire child was a loose adaptation.
Yes.
An adaptation of the concept of everyone dying.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Oh no, the other one I'm thinking of was The Roof Where, which it was really good.
Yeah.
They're not bad. I'm not saying they're bad, but we've done that. We
Yeah.
get it. The idea of everyone dying and no one knowing what's killed them, and eventually there will be none.
Yeah.
But no, I would. And I think Sherlock did an amazing job. I've not. The last season went a bit off the rails, and I've never seen it.
That's what I heard.
The last one I saw was the flashback, the one set in acid. And after I think I was over here and I missed it.
Yeah.
But Sherlock did a very good job modernising.
Yeah, I think my favorite one of that one was the one with Irene Adler.
Yes. Yeah,
That
there
one
was
was
some good one. There's some great.
Phenomenal. Yeah. What about you? What was your news for this week? Your top, bottom, and lucky.
Well,
Pierre.
I think my bottom of the week is just going to be, and I know Daniel might want to step back. Is this? If there's been a lot of news recently about what's going on with the America 250,
Yes.
And so there was the announcement of a series of concerts, including the lovely Martina McBride and was it CC Music Factory?
Yes, and
Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli.
Someone pointed out that one was dead.
yeah.
And upon announcing it, and is it Temptations or the one
Commodores.
of the Commodores?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, America 250 is about America, not about a party. Even though obviously the person leading the country at the moment, Stephen Miller, is it is going to always dictate slightly how people feel about the situation. All of a sudden, these people pulled out, and then he said, "Well, we don't want to be part of a partisan event." And we were like, "Well, what does so?" Me and the Hubs were first like, "Well, does that mean they thought they could do this as a non-partisan attitude and realised from backlash that it was partisan?" No, it turns out there's 2 different events. There's America 250, which is run by the government, and there's Freedom 250.
So I will step in right
Yes.
here. So America 250 is a congressionally authorized set of events that are occurring around the United States. There is congressional authorization to put on the productions, and it is supposed to be bipartisan. And then there is Freedom 250, which is coming from
That person. And they all realised they'd been duped.
Right. So, for example, Grand Prix DC, Great American State Fair, and the UFC fight are all Freedom 250 events. However, Memorial Day and the Salute to America or the 4th of July is an America 250 event.
So we won't be going to the state fair.
Yes. That was something I wanted to talk to you after the podcast, but that is the difference. So
I didn't realize. I thought that would have been a harder one to.
No.
Well, anyway, that's disgusting. Talking of bad governments, so recently Reform decided that they were Reform had taken in the UK a lot of councils, so they've also fucked up badly, and they basically did the American MAGA thing of lying about it and getting into power. So the opposition have done the American thing of basically going loud and going proud and talking shit about who you think the Reform are doing. But interestingly, Reform decided that they were actually going to, I'm going to check the location of said parade, Durham Pride was cancelled when the Reform Council decided they were not going to give it 1 cent because they love everyone apparently, unless you're, gay. So the trade union stepped in and are now funding it, because after what happened during the miners' strikes, when the gay community stepped up for the trade unions are now stepping up for the gay community.
Yay.
And they've not only funded it, they're funding it more than it was originally funded. So fuck you, Reform.
In your
fuck you,
face.
MAGA. You can't stop us. So that brings me on to my big bit of news of the week. So I was always going to talk about Mandalorian.
I was about to say, I knew
It's
this.
my lucky Pierre. And it was excellent. I took a little bit to get into, in the sense of I was like sitting there very much like, I'm a Star Wars fan and then I should love this. And then I was like, just have fun. And when you go into it and enjoy it, it is a lot of fun.
Is it because Sigourney Weaver's in it?
It's Sigourney Weaver. There's a lesbian that cast her. But no, I was a little bit like overpressuring myself to enjoy it. And I was like, it's just not meant to be anything. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, is it was projected to have one of the lowest openings of a Star Wars movie. And it had got kind of mad. It got mad by the critics. It wasn't bad enough to investigate, but good enough to want to see.
Yeah.
The fans got involved and started to say, actually, this is a lot of fun. This is just pure enjoyment. And then when one critic was like, it's basically Filoni and what's his face, who did Elf?
Will Ferrell?
Not Will Ferrell, the director who did
right.
Yeah. Jon Favreau. And they're like, it's just them playing with action figures. And then someone came back and said, yes, but if you take that in a positive spin, it's them playing with action figures.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's not going to have a mass ripple effect on the Star Wars galaxy after this. It was just watching all our toys be used. And there's even like vehicles in there that were just toys and part of a line of cheap toys they made vehicles, and they've actually now made them actual vehicles. But it's just good. And there's a really lovely scene in the middle. There's a lot of humour around Grogu. There's one scene that was just having everyone pissing themselves. It's just well done. But it is interesting to read the feedback that's coming online about it, and Star Wars fans, because Star Wars fans will destroy Star Wars. You know, they've never been happy with anything since Empire Strikes Back. And actually to watch it and see how people were going, oh my God, they used this creature, or they used that one, which was like a background 2 seconds in Jabba's palace, and now they like a major like creature in it, or that's from the concept art. People got the assignment. And could it have had a larger ripple effect, in my opinion? Maybe. But at the same time, it was just good. The budget was there on screen. Yeah. I don't know if I think you would probably sit there and enjoy it. I think if when it comes on something and you can sit and watch it, I'd highly recommend.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it was nice because I wanted to talk about it anyway, but it's nice to see it actually become the culture. And if you're on the feeds, it was just post after post of people going, no, I enjoyed it, or I could take my kids to see this one.
Good.
Which was lovely to see, and people just were buying all the merch and sitting there, and it was really lovely.
Good.
So I felt very. I will try and see it again. Keep an eye on it because I think it's going to disappear quickly.
Fair.
Because a lot of films coming out because of Masters of the Universe is coming out.
I would say I've seen some ripples about that.
So the initial reactions are always good because that's why they invite those people to those screenings. It's going to be interesting to see what comes. It looks entertaining. I think I'm going to have a good 2.5 hours or whatever it is. It's a very long movie. Yeah. But no, Mando was genuinely quite lovely. Loads of little hidden bits in there, and a couple of times went, but
oh my goodness.
A lot of people, there's a Leo DiCaprio gif of him going and pointing at the screen. A lot of people going, Star Wars.
That.
Yeah, Star Wars fans during the Mandalorian. But Sigourney was excellent. She's not in it an amazing amount. She's very much but she does come in when you need her to come in at the end. And there was a few good. And Martin Scorsese's good in it as well. Oh, yeah, you won't recognize him, but you might recognize how he sounds. But no, it was really cute. Well, anyway, I think with that, Daniel, we should move on.
Yes.
What's culture for you next week?
So I think that there's going to be more fallout from the Great American State Fair, and we're going to see how that plays out. Yes,
I really can't wait to see how this turns out. I feel like I'm very disappointed at the Fair of the States or whatever it is. I was really looking forward to, and I'm really disappointed that's actually a one. Yeah. But we shall do our own. I think for me next week is getting. I did a lot of editing this week on my book, and that's my culture for next week is going to be actually like now I've finally started it. Is bit by bit getting it to look like an actual novel.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Max, and thank you for being our third this week.
Cheers.
Cheers. A big thank you to everyone for tuning in to Daniel Max's Cultural Freeway and for giving us a listen.
Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review, and follow us on the socials.
You can find us under Bearded Bitch Pod or Bitches with Beards. Please remember that only a mother could love our views and opinions, and they reflect us and no one else.
We'll be here next week, unless we're cancelled.